The U.S. is threatening to pull troops out of northeastern Syria. Here's why you should care. Christians there certainly do. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. This is Breakpoint. On Sunday, President Trump announced that some 1,000 U.S. troops would be withdrawn from Kurdish-controlled regions of Syria. Lawmakers, policy experts, and the media, liberal and conservative, Democrat and Republican, immediately reacted, condemning the announcement as unwise. While the president sees the move as fulfilling a campaign promise of getting us out of what he called ridiculous endless wars, most others see it as a cruel and dangerous betrayal of the Kurdish Syrian Democratic Forces and their Christian and Yazidi allies. The Kurds will now have to defend themselves against NATO-member Turkey, which views them as terrorists and wants them out of Syria. In fact, the president announced that Turkish forces would be, quote, moving forward into the region. So who exactly are the Kurds? They're a minority ethnic and mostly Islamic group in portions of Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. They've been loyal and effective allies to the U.S. in the fight against ISIS. The areas they control in Syria have become last resort havens for persecuted Yazidis and Christians. With U.S. troops out of northeastern Syria, the Kurds and the Yazidis and Christians they protect will be fully exposed, and therefore they will be in grave peril. They'll be forced to turn their attention and their fighters away from ISIS to confront the existential threat from Turkey. The resulting vacuum could lead to a resurgent and emboldened ISIS, much as President Obama's unwise and impulsive withdrawal from Iraq led to a reorganizing of our enemies there. And there's an additional problem. The Kurds currently hold thousands of ISIS prisoners. The administration assumes that Turkey will simply take control of them, but it's far from certain if and how that would happen if Turkey launches an all-out assault on the Kurds. Some 11,000 Kurds have given their lives in the fight against ISIS already. They need and they deserve U.S. support. To withdraw that support now sends a message around the world about the U.S.'s reliability as an ally. The president has responded to criticism of the withdrawal by tweeting he would, quote, totally destroy and obliterate the Turkish economy if it does something the president considers off limits. As Mindy Beltz pointed out on the Breakpoint podcast today, his threat points to the success that U.S. sanctions had on Turkey in securing the release of Pastor Andrew Brunson last year. It's not clear such sanctions would be successful today. For their part, Turkey has rebuffed the president's threat and is preparing to strike the Kurds. For all the reasons evangelicals have had to applaud the Trump administration over the past 2 years, from nominating conservative federal judges and Supreme Court justices to defending religious liberty and to protecting the unborn, I've got to say, this decision is not one of them. Evangelical Christians, who are key to the president's re-election prospects, must make it clear we expect the administration to do all it can to protect persecuted Christians wherever it can. The largest towns in the region, Qamishli and Hasaka, are mainly Christian towns. Working in conjunction with Kurdish forces while protecting the world's most ancient Christian communities is something the U.S. must continue to do. Pulling U.S. troops out of northeastern Syria puts the lives of our brothers and sisters in Christ at risk, not only at the hands of a potentially resurgent ISIS, but also at the hands of our ostensible ally in Turkey. Christians must let the administration know. Please come to Breakpoint.org and we'll tell you how to contact the White House, Secretary of State Pompeo's office, as well as your representative and senators in Congress. And today on the Breakpoint podcast, Mindy Beltz of World Magazine fills out the complete picture about this region and why the president's announcement on Sunday stunned so many. Again, come to Breakpoint.org or download the Breakpoint podcast wherever you listen to your podcast to catch this important interview with World Magazine's Mindy Beltz. Please pray for our brothers and sisters in Syria and throughout the Middle East. For Breakpoint, I'm John Stonestreet.